Up in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up, fellas. I see you. We got King of Nike in the building. We got MVM in the building. We got Big Will. I say Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Yes, sir. We got Ed Tay in the building. We got Ice Cold Jones in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, I'm going to get to everybody's questions, but I'm going to start off by reading the news. We got a couple things that we need to talk about before we get into your last minute start and sit questions. Hopefully this live works good. It doesn't stop and just go out, right? That's the main thing. That's the main thing. So, yeah, let's get to so let's talk about a few things. Let's see here. Let's see. Aiden O'Connell. So I guess Aiden O'Connell is the backup to Geno Smith. So if Geno Smith goes out and have a bunch of bad games and they want to bench Geno at the end of the season and put somebody in, it could be Aiden O'Connell. He's not ready to return, but they're talking about that he can return. They're just throwing stuff out there. I'm not telling you to go pick up Aiden O'Connell, but he is the backup. It's not, I think he's going to be put in over Kenny Pickett. It does. I mean, that's what it seems like. That what they saying according to the news, according to Underdog. Let's see what else is it to talk about. Let's see here. Chase Edmonds, the running back for the Washington Commanders. Y'all remember Chase Edmonds from Arizona Cardinals? Yes, he plays for the damn Washington Commanders, and he's elevated to the main squad, off the practice squad this week. So, just wanted to tell y'all that. Not saying he's gonna get carries over Bob or he's gonna get carries over Chris Rodriguez, but he is there. So if you like this stash, you got plenty of bench spots, you playing in some type of best ball dynasty, maybe you might want to just pick up Chase Edmonds for a week or two. Okay, now here's the main news, and I see a couple of you talking about it. J.K. Dobbins. Now listen, can y'all pat me in the back right here? Put the 100 symbol in the comment and pat me on the back. Not because of an injury. It has nothing to do with J.K. I do not clap for no injuries. But we know J.K. Dobbins' algorithm. And his algorithm is... Let me see, make sure. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure y'all can hear me good. Yeah, the algorithm is that J.K. Dobbins cannot play a 17-game season since his rookie season. His rookie season, I think he did. But after that, guys, with that 2 or 3 bad injuries that he had, the knee injury, then another knee injury, and then an Achilles injury, I believe. So he hasn't been healthy at the end of the season. So now it's time for R.J. Harvey. And I've been telling everybody to hold on to R.J. Harvey for this. Patience is probably one of the biggest things that I teach for fantasy football. So hopefully a lot of you should have R.J. Harvey. And if J.K. Dobbins goes down, no pun intended to you, Ice Cold Jones, you should not be upset. You should not be upset. Come on now. And I know Ice Cone, you just talking, but I want the new people that's coming in here, don't be upset about that. You know what J.K. Dobbins did. Sometimes you got to rent like a car. You got to rent a car. You don't buy a car to drive on vacation. You rent it. J.K. Dobbins is always a rental running back. He's never going to be healthy for you for the whole season. So sometimes guys get you to a certain point, and then you got to go with somebody else. And that's in life. Sometimes you might work a job for 10 years, and you have to move on to elevate to a next level. So you have to move to another job, and that's okay. You ain't gonna work at every single job that you have for 50 years. You're not gonna get every running back that you draft is not gonna be with you for all 17 weeks. That's why a lot of you faded CMC and you made that mistake. He's injury prone. That was last year, right? And I get it. If you went down with that science, I get it. I'm not telling anybody that you better draft CMC, but each year is its own year. And you know what the CMC has showed you? I can be hurt for 2 years in a row, and then I can go 3 years and never get hurt. So that's why I trusted a guy like CMC over a guy like a J.K. Dobbins. But let's see what they're saying. The Broncos officially placed Dobbins' foot on injured reserve Saturday. Per the NFL's transaction law, there was a worry that Dobbins' foot injury would require an IR stint. And while that has come to pass, he's now slated to miss at least the rest of the regular season, which is the fantasy football playoffs. After undergoing surgery on his foot, Adam Scheffler reports there are also potential that Dobbins is healthy by the Super Bowl. If the Broncos happen to advance that far, but before as long as Dobbins is sidelined, Ricky R.J. Harvey will pace the team's backfield, while Tyler Batty and Jaleel McLaughlin are on hand for complementary roles. So there you go. J.K. Dobbins is going to probably be out for the rest of the season. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up. Let's see. All right, let me see if there's anything else to talk about as far as news, guys. Gabe Davis is back on the Buffalo Bills. He's back there. So that's telling you, guys, that's why I talked about Keon Coleman. That's telling you what they're looking for. What they looking for somebody who they can push the ball down the field. It don't have to be somebody who's going to get a bunch of targets downfield and go crazy like a Jamar Chase. They just need somebody to back up the safeties. Remember, I always tell y'all, and I draw up plays telling you it's all about the safeties. When you listen, I'm not a quarterback. I didn't play quarterback, but I was a running back. And quarterbacks and running backs are lined up in the middle. Fullbacks, tight ends, and quarterbacks are lined up in the middle. And we have to read. We seeing the whole field. We seeing safeties come in acting like they blitzing, backing up. We see corners playing soft, corners playing inside technique, outside technique. We see that all the time. So with the me watching the game, I always thought that I could read the defense by what the safeties was doing. If a safeties was acting like he was going to blitz, I was figuring that it's going to be cover 3 or man, because you can't run cover 2 with one safety in the back. If you do, somebody's going to have to hurry up and run back to cover their half of the field. So that's how you read the defense. And so now when the safeties are coming down, that's an easy read for Josh Allen, and he can push the ball downfield to Keon Coleman or Gabe Davis. Just one big play. That's all they need. Just back up, and then you can run the ball and do your play action and throw it to the tight ends. Mecole Hardman is also signed with the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills are not happy with their wide receivers. Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman probably the only guys that they can trust. Young Ho Koo is going to be, I think he's going to be the kicker for the Giants this week. So pay attention to that. If you got the Giants kicker, which is Graham Gano, he's been hurt a lot the last 2 years. He's probably going to get cut this year after the end of the year. So yeah, Young Ho Koo. Sam Laporta is on IR. He's hurt, so no Sam Laporta. So let's go J-Mo. Let's go Amon-Ra. Let's go Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's go. And listen, we're not cheering for injuries, but this is why I talk about quadrants. Quadrants, things change each week, and then your player that you've been stashing, because I tell you to stash, I make stash videos all the time. Things like this can help your guys, right? So we're not cheering for no injury, but things are going to change each quadrant. Guys are going to go down with injuries. Guys are going to get better. Guys are going to get more of a bigger role. So just hold on to your players and be patient. Don't get mad because you lost. A lot of you right now, I can tell if something bad happened to you in your life, you're going to be ready to spaz out. You can't be patient. You know how patient I was before sitting at home for 12 years without a job? And all I could do was study and watch football. But I didn't complain. I was angry, but I didn't complain because I'm very patient, because I know once I got going in the process that I was going to eat. And so I want y'all to believe the same thing about fantasy football. Stay patient. Even if your team, now you can't get to a point where you would have to make a move to win every week. You could be only got 2 games and you last place and you have to win out in order to try to contend for the playoffs. I understand that situation. So that's different. But if you are like 500, you 6th, 7th, 8th place, be patient with your guys, because you don't want to get rid of R.J. Harvey. You don't want to get rid of Chuba Hubbard. You don't want to get rid of guys that are backups that ain't been getting, like Travion Henderson. A lot of you probably dropped Travion Henderson. I got one of my subscribers. He's very, very intelligent. No football, but he dropped him. And it's because he probably, well, man, I got to make a move because this guy ain't doing nothing for 5-6 weeks, and it didn't matter. So, yeah, Sam Laporta goes on IR. Cade Stover. Now, we like Dalton Schultz. I don't know if he's going to be healthy, but Cade Stover, the tight end that came out of Ohio State, played with CJ Stroud. He's off IR, but he's still questionable, so he might not play. But I just want y'all to know that if you're going to be looking for tight ends, that could shift Dalton Schultz target ratio. Jalen Johnson, the Chicago Bears top corner that's been out a lot of this year, he's back practicing, but he's not healthy this week. So I just want to let you know, if you want to start stashing that defense, you can. So I just wanted y'all to know that. Okay. Let's see here. What else do we got? Only stuff that like is going to be relevant for fantasy football. I'm not going to read about a bunch of defensive players. Shamar Stewart, the first round pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, is expected to go on IR. So that defense is only getting worse, right? All right, I think that's everything. I think that's everything that we need to talk about as far as news. It was just mainly the J.K. Dobbins situation. Pat Surtain would not be playing against the Chiefs, so we're not worried about no Rashid Rice. So play Rashid Rice. We're not worried about Pat Surtain. Even if Pat Surtain played, I would still tell you to play Rashid Rice. Right? And a lot of you are, when I give you, which we know numbers matter, if I give you a move and as soon as that next week it don't hit, you like, hey, TD, it didn't hit. But in 2 weeks, when everything plays itself out, when shit hit the fan, you know where to be found. You know where to check and balance stuff, right? Man, that's why I tell you, you got to be patient. Stuff that may not happen immediately, but it's in the woodwork. Like it can happen throughout the next 2 to 3 weeks. So just because a player may play bad, like you might see a wide receiver play bad against Pat Surtain, another wide receiver from a lesser tier might eat Pat Surtain up. Deion Sanders then got beat deep by other wide receivers outside of Randy Moss. Right? It happens sometimes. So you don't want to sit your stud because you scared of this monster. And he a human. He put his pants on just like you do, just like Rashid Rice do. So I'm never going to sit my alpha top 10 wide receiver, alpha. Now, if you are Tyler Lockett, you Trey Tucker, I sit your ass. But I'm not sitting Ibuka. I'm not sitting Mike Evans. I'm not sitting Jamar Chase. I'm not sitting T. Higgins for no corner. I don't give a damn if it's Deion Sanders and Darrell Reeves put together. Okay. I think that's about it. That's about it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We all know that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to miss a couple of weeks. He got to get surgery. We all know that, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let me get me a drink, and then we going to proceed. Intelligente, what's up, bruh? Okay. King of Nike said, what's good, TD? What's good, bruh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ice Cold Jones says, moment of silence for the J.K. Dobbins owners that had to drop him like I did. Yeah, and that's fine. You knew an injury could come at any time. You knew that. But you always can get J.K. Dobbins as a great value. He's probably one of the best values each year because everybody like, well, he's hurt and he's going to go to another team and his career is over. And then he goes to another team. The coaches believe in him. They give him a starting role and he ball out for you for about 6 or 7 weeks. And then he move on. He probably get hurt or something like that. Then the other running back comes over and takes over. That happens with J.K. Dobbins, and that's fine. You got to understand what players are and what they can do in their potential. King of Nike, he says quarterback, Flacco, Purdy, Kyron, Bucky, Genty, Woody, Charbonnet, JSN. He says, would you trade London and Woody for Derrick Henry and Mayfield? Okay, let me see your quarterbacks. You got Flacco and Purdy, so you need another quarterback. So you telling me right now that you like Flacco. I mean, you like Mayfield. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm not gonna. If I thought Mayfield sucked, I'd be like, nah, man, don't trade for him. He doesn't suck. That's a priority call. That's a prerogative call. So you like Mayfield. Let me tell you. This is what I'm gonna say. You got JSN, you got Ibuka, and you got Rashid Rice. You got Harvey and Genty and Bucky and Kyron. Yeah, man, go ahead and make that move to level up. You got plenty of talent on your team, but I don't got to get used to guys like y'all are awesome drafters. Even in 8-team leagues, y'all still be killing it. So I have to get used to telling you to start a stud. I got to choose between, and this is no pun intended, and I'm not saying this is wrong, but a lot of times I have to choose over Jamar Chase and Ibuka. And I'm just telling you the type of levels. I got to choose between a number 1 player and a number 5 player. And that's very, very tough. And it's kind of almost unfair, but that's what somebody told me. I think it might have been King of Nike. He said, hey, that's what you signed up for. That's what you do YouTube. So it is what it is. But yes, I do like Derrick Henry going down the stretch for the cold weather. And I do like Mayfield because you do need a quarterback if Flacco sits for Joe Burrow. So I like that you trying to do that. That's the only weakness on your team, I would say, is the quarterback if Flacco sits. So yes, I would do that trade if you want Baker. MVM says Rico, Judkins, Harvey, Vidal, Ladd, Tez, Prescott, Kuda, Bowers, Gaddison. Please pick 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Thanks, bud. Okay, so your 2 running backs are going to be. Let's do Rico. Let's do Rico and Vidal. And I'm going to tell you why I'm choosing Vidal over Harvey. To me, I don't like the play calling from Sean Payton when it comes down to the running backs. Alvin Kamara was good for him because we trusted him with the passing game. Harvey, this is his first full-time game. We think he's going to ball out, and I'm pretty sure he will ball out. But I'm not comfortable depending on him when I got studs that's going to get 20 touches and goal line opportunities. I feel like the Denver Broncos, when they get down and they get cute, like they got Pat Mahomes or something. They throw it a lot down there. They don't really necessarily run the ball in and try to beat you with a power run game when they get down to the green zone. So that makes me want to hold on to Harvey and just see if they does that because of the talent you had. And if you didn't have so much running back depth, I would say, yeah, play Harvey. But you got so much running back depth. I don't want you to sit guys we know ain't nobody coming in and taking their goal line snaps. And we know that when they get down there, they're going to give this guy a chance. That's the difference of why I'm telling you maybe not to start Harvey. So I want to go with Rico when I know Chuba, he's beat out Chuba. He's healthy. Rico is healthy. Vidal has been shocking everybody. Yeah, he had every other game. He's been having a down game. But I don't think it's about matchups. I think it's about they just depending on the game script, is somebody trying to take the run away or if they're gonna let them pass. And most of the time you're trying to stop that pass. They got so many weapons. They got Ladd, Keenan, QJ. It's a lot of weapons on that team. So a lot of if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm gonna stop the pass. I'm not gonna let Justin Herbert drop back for 40 times and kill me with Ladd and Keenan Allen. So I'm gonna try to stop the pass and then see if Vidal can beat me. Right? So I like Vidal and Rico. Judkins got a tough matchup. He's a star too, bro. I just want to let you know. Judkins and Harvey are stars. But in your situation, we have to consolidate. We got to go. I'm going to go with Rico and Vidal. But I'm going to tell you something. Bro, if you don't listen to me at all, I ain't got nothing to say. If you come and tell me Monday, hey, TD, I played Harvey and Vidal. I played Harvey and Judkins. I'm not going to be mad at you. So you got a lot of tomatoes out here. And let's get to your 2 wide receivers. You know we're going with Ladd. He's on fire. This is what we've been waiting on. We talked about this all early in the season, that Ladd was going to eventually get going. We had to be patient. So I'm going to say Ladd. And Tez. I'm going with Tez. He's got a lot of touchdown upside. He had 2 touchdowns last week, and then he had a touchdown the week before. So he's on a 3 touchdown trend the last two weeks. And I like the game script of we got to stop Ibuka. We got to keep Baker from hitting us with a big play. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my number 2 corner on Tez because I'm not worried about Tez. I want to stop Cade Otton in the run game and Ibuka. So I like guys who got weak matchups that's playing well and getting targets. So that's why I'm going to go with Tez over Tet and Pearsall. Pearsall, man, like I tell you, what I tell you, if I go on a date with a woman and we come back in my apartment or whatever, I need to turn the lights on. I need to see it first. I'm not gonna go in no pitch black dark and just go ahead and go crazy with you. And I ain't seen anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what type of time we in, what's going on out here. So I need to see everything with my experience, right? I'm 38, so I know what things supposed to look like. And so that's the same thing with Pearsall. Let me see it first. I know you was good early. You was the top. You was leading the NFL in receiving yards the first 3 weeks. I need to see it again before I go out, especially with your injury history. Okay, between Kittles and Bowers, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I think you need to put Kittle and Bowers in. So okay. So let me tell you. So we're gonna go with Kittle for the tight end, but then we going with Bowers for the flex. I wanted to go back to Judkins or Harvey, but no, man, not with it. Kittle and Bowers got to be started. You drafted 2 tight ends like that, you need to go ahead and use them then. Don't buy no car and then you sitting under the garage, it's going to rot. That's why they tell you a good car got to be drove a little bit. You hardly see a car that they don't crank up at the car lot. They got to crank it up a little bit, right? So if you went if you got Kittles and Bowers, you got to put them in your lineup every single week. These are elite tight ends. They're going to be better than most wide receivers. They are better than top 24 wide receivers. From 12 to 24, they better than a lot of those wide receivers. So, yes. So, your 2 starting line. So, I'm going with Rico, Vidal, Tet, Ladd, and then we're going with the tight end flex. We're going with Kittle and Bowers. Yes, sir. MVM, he says also Stafford or Flacco. Stafford or Flacco. We're going with Flacco. We're going with Flacco. Big Wheel says, what up, bro? Caleb versus Minnesota or Purdy versus Arizona? We going with... Let's go with Purdy versus Arizona. Let me tell you why, man. I respect the hell out of Brian Flores. I was nervous with him about Lamar, and Lamar didn't go crazy because Brian Flores calls up a good-ass game against Lamar. I seen it every time. He used to play Miami, and Miami would blitz his ass every single time. And you were like, okay, well, they're going to check it down and beat you deep. And it wouldn't happen because Lamar, he had to think quicker, and he wasn't used to people blitzing him. People were scared to blitz him, but Brian Flores will. He's a great defensive mind, man. He's gonna get I don't know why he don't have a head coaching job. It might be because he's sued the NFL, but he's one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. Bill Belichick chose him, so you know he got the pedigree. So I think that Caleb could struggle in this game, because he's never seen these type of blitzes. Brian Flores is going to be blitzing the hell out of him to make him think quick, to get the ball out quick and be accurate to Rome or Luther Burton or whoever, or Colston Loveland. He's going to make him make quick decisions. So I like Purdy against Arizona. Purdy's fresh. He got something to prove. He's seen how Matt Jones has been playing. I think they pushed the ball downfield a little bit. And you got Pearsall coming back. I don't know what he's going to do, but that lets me know that I think Purdy will pass the ball and be a good fantasy safe play for you. Does he have the boom that Caleb has? No. So if you want to play and if you just like, look, TD, I want some boom. I'm trying to score 30 40 points. If you give me 10, I'm okay with it. Then you can play Caleb. But the safe play, that's in my mind, I think you should be a little bit safe here because Caleb is so up and down. I will go with Purdy. Ed Tay, what's up, bruh? King of Nike says Flacco, Rodgers, Purdy, or JJ. Rank them this week. I'm going with Flacco, Rodgers, Purdy, and JJ. So you actually got it ranked correct. Flacco is a top 3 quarterback. Well, if you take out the pocket, the running quarterbacks, shit, Flacco might be number 1. With the matchup this week, Flacco might be number 1. So I'm gonna say Flacco. Then I'm gonna go with Rodgers because Rodgers playing against Cincinnati. I think DK is gonna have a really good game. So I'm going to go with Flacco, Rodgers. Then I would say Purdy, and then I'll say JJ. Aaron Holloway, what's up, bruh? Yes, sir. Aaron Holloway says, yo, what's up, TD? What's up, bruh? Slick Nasty says, Bills need a new coach. I agree a little bit. I think McDermott is a good coach. But this is the reason why I fire you for easy, stupid shit. I'm not gonna fire you just because you got beat or you haven't beat a team in a couple of years. Like Mike Tomlin, I haven't seen him do too much of stupid stuff. Maybe one stupid thing, and I think that could have been not managing George Pickens correctly. Other than that, Mike Tomlin, everybody makes mistakes. But you, for 2 years, you didn't use James Cook. And you put in Ty Johnson and Ray Davis and James Cook's superpower was catching passes. This dude caught a bunch of passes at Georgia, and you taking this dude off the field like he damn Derrick Henry. That's why your ass should be fired. You just now want to let James Cook get carries. You just now want to do that shit. Come on, bro. That's why his ass should be fired. That's why I agree. That is crazy. It ain't got nothing to do with me but loving James Cook. To me, it's like, you know he's the best player, but you trying to circumvent him so much, and you're not even using him, and you losing. I never understood that. That seems like you dumb or something. I don't know. That would never happen with Andy Reid. You know what Andy Reid did with Kareem Hunt as a rookie? Kareem Hunt first carry of a big time game, he fumbled. I remember James Cook fumbled early. He came out for the rest of the game. But I remember Kareem Hunt fumbled on his first game. He ain't fumbled his whole college career. Maybe one time. Fumbled. Everybody, he's going to sit out. We picked him. Then the very next series, he went right back to him. And the dude had the biggest game of his career. That's why you should be fired. Tron says J.K. Dobbins, proud of LaGrange, Texas. Okay, that's where he from. Okay, Tron. Slick Nasty says, I'm convinced that the Bills can't develop young players at all. Kind of what I'm saying. Or you don't know how to put your talent in the game. Like, play your best players. Andy Reid is great at that. Sean McVay is great at that. Listen, let me tell y'all something about Puka Nacua. Y'all think that Puka Nacua could have went anywhere and he would have been a big-time wide receiver. Don't y'all know that Puka Nacua would be on the practice squad on some teams? Y'all think I'm crazy, don't you? Keep thinking it. I'm going to keep telling your ass the truth. Puka Nacua will be on practice squads on probably 6 or 7 teams. They don't understand talent. They only know what they draft. But Sean McVay, he don't give a damn where you drafted. He don't care if you walked on or not. He can pick you out and put you in. That's why I like certain offensive coordinators, and I'm big on offensive coordinators. Aaron Holloway with the 100 symbol. Don in the building. Jay Moore says start 2 wide receivers, flex 2. A.J. Brown, QJ, Parker Washington, Michael Wilson, Keenan Allen, Romeo Dobbs, Ricky Pearsall. So start 2 wide receivers is going to be A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, new brother in town. A.J. Brown. Okay, the other wide receiver would be Wilson over Keenan Allen and Ricky Pearsall. It would be Michael Wilson or Ricky Pearsall. But we're gonna go with Michael Wilson this week because we need to see what Ricky Pearsall got, right? Pause. So the wide receivers are going to be A.J. Brown and Michael Wilson. Flex 2, you might have to play Ricky. Your flex 2 would be Ricky Pearsall and Keenan Allen. Ricky Pearsall and Keenan Allen. So your plays are going to be A.J. Brown, Michael Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, and Keenan Allen. Jay Moore says, more likely to score Jennings or Pearsall. I say Jennings because of the green zone. Like, when I get down into the green zone, Juwan Jennings is a big body. He's strong, and you can throw it up high to him, and he's good in the green zone. Ricky Pearsall is more of 20 to 20. That they may throw a screen to him, but I say Jennings is more likely to score before Pearsall. Ice Cold Jones says, you're right, bro. Appreciate you your thinking of the JK situation and in life. Much love. Yes, sir. Sick Nasty says, Sean McDirt, Buffalo needs to pack it up and find a new job on the team full of vets. Remove Josh Allen from that team, and they're the Browns. Cutting edge content. I can see what you're saying. You might be right. Tom Burton says running backs Henry, Genty, Jacob, Chase Brown, wide receiver Sutton got offered water for Chase Brown. Take it or no? Wide receiver Sutton, JSN Diggs. Yes. You got Henry, Genty, Jacob. Yeah, you got 3 good running backs. You need a wide receiver. You just got JSN. You need somebody. Sutton is okay. He's just gonna give you a safe floor, but you need something with a little bit more. No pause, no pun intended. So I would go. I would give up Chase Brown to get Waddle. What's going on, Nicole? Glad you're here. Raven, glad you're here. Bob, what's up, Bob? He says Jennings, Swift, White, and the flex PPR. Thanks. Pick one. I'm going with Jennings over Swift and White. Swift is going to be splitting carries with Managa. White is getting beat out as we speak right now by Sean Tucker. So we're going to go with Jennings. Ryan says Harvey or Sutton this week. It's easy. We're going with Harvey. Raven says, hello, hey, I love you, brother. Hey, love you too, man. Appreciate it. Rex says Kareem Hunt or RJ Harvey or Vidal. I don't know your situation, but the way this situation is presented, you just trying to put one running back in. Why not put Harvey in for the upside? If I like Vidal, and I actually like because I've seen Vidal play for 5 to 6 weeks. I can kind of vision how he's going to play and how the game script goes. But for one running back, I would say go with the boom. And RJ Harvey got the biggest boom. Kareem Hunt is a goal line back who's going to get goal line opportunities when they get down there. So that's a good role. Vidal is a guy who can have 100 yards in a TD or 2 TDs. He's been playing really well most weeks. Every other week he might have a bad game or a down game. But in this situation, just for one player, why not go with RJ Harvey to try to see what kind of upside he got? But if you need to safe play, I like Vidal. I'm not saying he's safe, but I like Vidal because they're going to use Vidal. But I think in this situation, I would use Harvey. Patrick says 12-team, 1 flex PPR, 5-5, trade away DeMarcado, Swift, and Gaddison for Tyler Warner and Hampton. I don't know if Hampton coming back, bro, and when he coming back. If you got news that when he's coming back and they're going to use him and you trust that, then go down with that ship. But don't get angry and say, well, they ain't giving Hampton the ball. And da-da-da-da-da. Don't have that excuse. If you trade for him, you got to go down with that ship no matter how they use him. That's why I don't like the trade. I'll be worried about, and you really ain't trading away nobody, to be honest. So, you know what? To be honest, man, go ahead and do the deal. You ain't trading away but nobody but DeMarcado and Swift and Gaddison. You probably got a good tight end. And then you can get Warren and Hampton. Yeah, why not? Amendola, Cotto, and Swift is not going to win you the league. My running backs are Kyron, Handy, Swift. See, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So I would try to go for that deal to get Tyler Warren, and you pray for Hampton to get his role and his green zone touches back. Timothy, what's up, bro? He said you started RJ Harvey over Judkins and ETN. Yes, over Judkins and over ETN. Yes, I am. Judkins, listen, Judkins gonna get 20 touches. Judkins gonna be a top 5 back in opportunities almost every single week. But what are you going to do against the Baltimore Ravens with Dylan Gabriel at quarterback? The Baltimore Ravens, one thing they love for you to do is try to run the ball on them. They don't want you to spread them out and start isolating Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is a good cover guy, though, most of the time. So I ain't going to mention Kyle, but they don't want to be spread out. But so Judkins, I would go with RJ Harvey over Judkins in a full PPR league. If it was half-point PPR, I would tell you to play Judkins. Intelligente, what's up, bro? He says John Harbaugh talked about how the coaching staff knows they have to get Mitchell more involved. Are you stashing? Yeah, for a Derrick Henry injury, but listen, don't overread that. You don't. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm biased. If he goes in there and start taking Derrick Henry out of games, especially early, and Derrick Henry just kind of over there on the sideline coming in every 4 or 5 plays and shit, and they trying to keep Mitchell the same amount of opportunities as Derrick Henry, or is very close, like a 60-40, John Harbaugh would lose his job. You have to. We all know that that Derrick Henry got to get going. He ain't lost shit. We didn't see him outrun people all season. Haven't been as many plays as it was last year. No, not up until this point. So I would stash him in case something happened. Keaton Mitchell can play. He's very explosive. He coming off that knee injury last year, and he was balling last year. But I'm not going. I wouldn't say that he's going to end up beating out or getting a lot of snaps from Derrick Henry. I still think Derrick Henry's the guy. But yeah, you can stash him if you got room. What's up, Ben Flack? He said, what's up? He said, I like your hair. Thank you, bro. Tom Burt says, cheers, brother. Yes, sir. Ben says, do you know the Giants' new coach? Mike Kafka? No, yeah. He played in college and he played in I think he played for Buffalo too. Mike Kafka, let's see what he gonna do. I don't know why they fired Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll was gonna run Jackson Dart into the ground and they wasn't having it. What's up, Kuma? Stinson, what's up, Stinson? Glad to see you here. He says, Chargers fan here, just saying, okay, I respect that. Y'all up. Y'all on one right now. I feel you. But, hey, pump that chest out, bro. Beat that chest. B Silver says, upgrade team how? Okay. I'm going to be, okay, you 6-4. Okay. So upgrade team how? Superflex, redraft, 4 PPR, starters. Dak, Geno. Okay, you got Dak and Geno. Saquon, Derrick Henry, Emeka, Flowers, Kittle, Sutton, Gaddison. Bench is Brissett, Kamara, Sean Tucker, Jennings, Parker, Shaheed. Bruh, if you could trade Sutton for another piece like a George Pickens, I know somebody that did that. That's the only thing that you can do to your team, man. You got a good team. You got Brissett as a backup. He's going to be the quarterback. You got Geno, Dak. Okay, super flex. Okay, so you got Dak and Geno starting. You got Brissett if you need him. Then you don't have to put a quarterback in. You got Kamara when he comes back, and if he gets hot, you can put him in. You got a great team, bro. Every team is not going to be superstar. And sometimes, guys, me reading between the lines, it seems like y'all be wanting me to tell you to go trade for Justin Jefferson or something. Now, A.J. Brown is different because you can get him cheap. But we're not trading for no Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson right now is not better than Ibuka. But Ibuka is a better wide receiver. So that's the guy that you should be trading for, but you got him. So I think your team is already as good as it can be. It's already as good as can be. I think I'm just trying to look and see. Flowers is going. This is a third, fourth quadrant player. Kittle, Emeka, Saquon, Derrick Henry. I just don't see no weaknesses in your team other than Sutton, where you could upgrade with Sutton. Voltron says Godwin has a chance to play in week 12 against the Rams. Are you stashing him? Yes, I'm stashing him. I just want to see what's going to happen. Stint says Taylor or Henry. You talking about Jonathan Taylor? You got to play Jonathan Taylor. But you have to play. But they on a bye this week. But Taylor is the guy. Like, if you just trying to see who's the better player. If I got the names wrong, just let me know. Maybe you talking about Mason Taylor and Hunter Henry. And the Patriots already played. So just let me know what players you're talking about. SP France says, your opinion, who's splitting carries with RJ? McLaughlin or Batty? And McLaughlin and Batty both will try to compete, but RJ is going to be the main guy. Ice Cold Jones says Hunt or Shakir. I'm going with Hunt for the goal line opportunities. B Silver says, I'm not sure if been mentioned. Keon Coleman is a healthy scratch. Who's the beneficiary out of this offense? Josh Palmer to pick up or Sean Tucker? Really? I haven't heard anything. He's a healthy scratch? Damn. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for anybody that I told to pick up Keon Coleman. I did not see that coming. Damn. If that's true, I wouldn't go to Palmer. I'll just go get. Josh Palmer is not a pickup. Keep Sean Tucker. We just get off of that Buffalo team. We're not going to pick up those sloppy second players. Nick Stir, what's up? He says, you think Harvey has a good game? Yeah, I think as a floor, I think he'll be solid. I'm thinking 10 points, but he can score more than that. But I'm thinking 10 points, 3 or 4 catches and about 40 or 50 yards rushing. Maybe 10 or 15 yards receiving. Voltron says, I think Michael Wilson is not the Arizona wide receiver to stream, it's Greg. Listen, we're not going to sit here and try to break that down. Michael Wilson is his beginning targets, but I agree. In a full PPR league, I love Greg Dortch. He's yes, he's the underneath guy. I agree with that. But I'm not going to tell you to play Greg Dortch over Michael Wilson. If I had to play somebody tomorrow and somebody had a weapon to my head, I would play Michael Wilson over Greg Dortch. But I don't think what you're saying, your rhyme and reason, or what you're talking about, I think that's cutting edge content. And I kind of agree because Greg Dortch is a great underneath wide receiver. King Sirius says, do you think Flacco is a top 10 fantasy quarterback? Hell, top 5. Top 5. Long as he got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Bandit says, start Waddle or London. You got to start Lundo. You got to start Lundo. Iraq says, who's winning tomorrow, Rams or Seahawks? I'm going with the Rams. Raven Mass says, thank you for the Pearsall tip. Hello, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. King Sirius says, Tucker will have a role this week, but do you expect White to lead the Bucks in snaps and touches out of the backfield? It depends on if they winning or losing. If they winning, I wouldn't be surprised if he got out snapped. If they losing, I can see White getting more opportunities, not opportunities, but more snaps. But I still think the green zone touches and the honey touches is what's the main ingredient that you're trying to make a decision on. Don't look at the fluff. The snap percentage don't matter. It's all about who do they trust when they get down there and they want to run it in. Who do they trust? And I think they trust Sean Tucker over Rashad White. Kenny 49 says, like the stream in the top right. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. He said, what's up, TD? Yes, sir. Aaron Holloway says, nobody is willing to trade at this point. Not really. Not really. But you can still get some trades off depending on your lead. Kenny said, what took New England so long to play Travion? Bill Belichick. What is the word I'm looking for? Bill Belichick, his motto. That's all written all over New England. You got the coach for New England. He played for Bill Belichick most of his career. So he don't give a damn about running backs. They don't think like that. They don't understand the development of young players or using them. They think they saving them. And guess what? They've won 7 Super Bowls. So you can't tell them nothing. That's like going to politicians and telling them that we need free healthcare. They don't give a damn about that, man. They can make them so much money. They don't care. They've won with that. They 7-2, or whatever. They don't care. So that's what took them so long. It's just like, we don't care. They don't care if they had Ashton Genty. They still would have done the same damn thing. That's why a lot of people was nervous about Travion. And listen, you still might see some weird shit. I'm telling you, Travion is balling. You might see Travion with 10 opportunities one week. And they be like, why did you do that? We just want to get Ramondre get going again. They weird like that, bro. Let me see. King Sirius says Tucker will have a role this week, but do you expect White to lead the Bucks? Okay, yeah, we did that one already. I just want to make sure I didn't skip anybody questions. Okay. Holy Spirit says Hunt needs volume and likely at least 1 touchdown to pay off for fantasy. No, he don't. No, he don't, Holy. Hunt do not need no volume, bro. Bro, have you seen him? What volume have he had all year and been decent? He's been decent. He's been giving you top 24, top 32 running back numbers. And he's been getting, 8, 9, 10 touches? Bro, he don't need value. That's not what you and I'm glad I'm here to help you. Don't look at Hunt for no value. Don't look at no Kansas City running back for no value. That don't happen like that. And maybe I'm nitpicking, but I see the game that way. Kareem Hunt is a true big-time specialist as far as I can finish as a top 12 running back off touchdowns alone with 5 carries, 2 touchdowns. I got 18 points, right? He can do that. So he don't need value. He need opportunity. We need to see Kansas City moving up and down the field, and Kareem Hunt gonna get his. That's all that matters. Larada Dad, forgive me if I'm killing your name. He said, with a good defense, the Bengals are a top 3 team. Yes, if they had a good defense, but that's far out there, right? That ain't happening. Sick Nasty says we think the same way on a lot of topics, broski. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sotra says, hi, okay, I don't know what that. He said, Grease, nice to meet you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Aaron Holloway says Michael Wilson or RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey over Michael Wilson. G Santos says need upside. Jennings or Ladd. We're going with Ladd. Tom Burton says thanks anytime. Jay Moore says Spears or D Mercado. We're going with Spears. I know D Mercado should have a good, decent role, but I like Spears. But if you went with D Mercado, knowing that, I don't think Bam and Michael Carter gonna get a lot of touches. I think one of them hurt. If I'm mistaken, guys, put it in the comment section. So I understand why you like D Mercado, but I'm going with Spears. I think he's game script proof. Like no matter if they losing or winning, he's going to get opportunities. J1 says, should I trade T-Mac for Zay Flowers? Yes. Do it right now, bro. Yes, sir. Holy Inspiration says, do you like Calvin Austin as a solid flex play this week? Yes. He has 19 targets in his last 3 games. So let me divide that by, you see, that's 6 times 3. So he's been getting about 6 targets a game. That's about 8. That's 6 times 3 is 18. So, yeah, I like Calvin Austin, but it depends on who you're playing him. No player is bad. It just depends on who you're playing them over. Shit, I go to and play Chuba Hubbard as an RB1 if I don't got no RBs, right? Hoping that he get in the game. So it all depends on who you got. But Calvin Austin, with that cutting edge content that you said, with those facts, that tells you he's in the game. I've been watching him. I've seen him, but I don't know who to play other than DK for the Pittsburgh Steelers when it comes to wide receivers. Because 1 week it can be Calvin, 1 week it can be Roman Wilson, Pat Fryer. It's just a lot of weapons over there other than DK for the boom. DK just a boom guy. He's like a dependable boom guy. If that's that may be an oxymoron, but yeah, Calvin Austin is solid with the targets. You just got to hope for the touchdown. Jay Moore says, ready to smash this week with the Bijan, Rico, Hendy, and the Chase Brown. Yes, sir, man. And I'm nervous about Bijan. I don't know what they doing. It's some Travion type shit going on over there. Like, I don't mind Algier getting a touchdown, but you ain't going to sit there and tell me that Bijan ain't supposed to have one of those touchdowns. And if he can't run the ball there, then Bijan is overrated. J. Wells says, thanks for telling me to be patient with J-Mo. Yes, sir. Thank you for giving me that reflection. Pause. All right? Thank you for letting me know, because that's why I try to tell guys. But, bruh, this shit is week to week. I got to carry all that baggage by myself when I get, because I take opportunity, I take risk. And if I can take a risk, people will unsubscribe from my channel just because I said to play this guy or that guy. But when it hits, Titty, what you doing this week? Well, guys, how did y'all week go? But I need something for this week. And I done told people to play all these cutting edge players. Drake May, hold on, stash. I done told people to stash Likely. But guess what, man? Everybody, Titty, Likely ain't hitting. I'm gonna get those comments. But as soon as Likely get going, I might get one comment from a guy like you and say, hey, man, thank you for telling me to hold on to Likely, man. It paid off because now he's gonna be on fire because Mark Andrews is down. So I appreciate that reflection to let me know, like, okay, are my guys hitting? I know my guys are hitting, but I just want y'all to be winning, and I want to trust that y'all are doing. And I want to trust that y'all are making the decisions for the advice that I'm giving you, right? So when you tell me that you held on to JMO, I appreciate that. I got them. No, a bunch of leagues. I ain't dropping them. I don't drop nobody. Ask people to play in leagues with me. KJ Frederick, what's up, bro? He says, need to start 1 RB2 and 1 flex. Okay, RJ, Vidal, and Christian Watson. So this is just a RB2. And I only got 3 players. So that makes me want to go to RJ Harvey because I want to try that out, right? So if I got 2 cars at the house, I might want to try a Lamborghini out because I got cars. If it don't work out or something, I can take it back. But if it just the situation depends on everything, right? So that's why I don't want y'all to think, well, Titi, you said RJ earlier, you said Vidal. Well, it just depends. If I can get cute and play somebody for the upside, because I like RJ to catch passes. I like Vidal. I don't think it's wrong to play either one of them. But if you're asking me to choose in a vacuum, I like RJ because it doesn't, you can get cute in this situation. There's only 3 players. The rest of your players are going to support RJ if he doesn't go off. But if you told me, TD, I'm in a good team league, and if I had the lowest amount of points, I'm going to get kicked out, I would probably tell you to play Vidal. You see the difference? Right? Why sometimes I go back and forth, because there's a way to play and to be safe, and it's okay to be safe because you can win that week because I just don't want to mess up. So then we go to Vidal. But if you're trying to get the most points because you need points to win, you in a point league, you in a best ball league, then RJ is the guy. I'm trying to circumvent it for you that way to tell you why it's never just a one answer all the time. It just depends. Another man's trash is another man's treasure, vice versa. Big Rowan says Mark Andrews or Cade Otton. Mark Andrews or Cade Otton. I'm going with Cade Otton. Mr. G says someone dropped Jordan Mason and Corum. Would you pick any of them? I'm in a 14-team league. So, yeah, you in a 14-man league. So, yes, you pick up Corum in case anything happens to Kyron. Kyron's been healthy all year. And I'm knock on wood. I don't want nothing to happen to him. But something could. Then let's go to Jordan Mason. Even if something was to happen to Aaron Jones, which it did earlier, Jordan Mason still wasn't spectacular for me. He had one good game and everybody went crazy and thought he was going to be a league winner, and he wasn't. And I don't like the Minnesota offense with J.J. McCarthy. So I would try to stash Corum. J. Hud says, your hair litty. Thank you. Thank you. I got a lot of critiques. Everybody came here. Even some of my friends, I hate to get in this, and they might get mad, and I don't give a damn at this point. Even my friends took shots at me. They laughed when a person called my hair and said, hey, you just like Caleb Williams. You might as well paint your nails the way your hair look. I never forget that. I never disrespect another man that I respect like that. Now I do got friends that if something happened and like a dude hits on them or something, I might joke like that in a joking way. We all gonna be laughing. I'm gonna see you laugh first, but I'm never gonna disrespect another man like that. So yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I had to let it grow back out because I felt like my lines was getting too, because I get the razor and it was going back. So that's why I let my hair grow out, guys. I want to let y'all know that. Sick Nasty said, that's why MC Dirk needs to be fired. Yo, Sean McDermott. Right. Holy Inspiration says the Browns have a single quarterback. The Browns have a single quarterback who can line up one-on-one with Flowers. I think he eats tomorrow. Me too, Holy. You see what I'm saying? Yes, sir. I agree, bro. That's why Zay Flowers is was he my boom play of the week or my start of the week? He's one of those. I love Zay Flowers tomorrow. It's time for him. I can feel that stuff, guys. I'm good at that. I'm sorry. I'm good at that. I know coach talk. I know each week how I'm going to try to beat the defense according to what I did the past weeks. So I'm going to run it with Derrick Henry. Lamar got a hamstring injury, but you still worried that he might beat you out the back door. So I'm going to hit you with a little bit of Zay Flowers, soften you up, and then finish you off with Henry. You see what I'm saying? Big Growing says Keenan Allen or Michael Wilson. I'm going with Michael Wilson over Keenan Allen. Big Growing stuff. Cold Pack says Pearsall or Trey Tucker. I'm going with, you know what, man? In this situation, because it's Trey Tucker. If it was somebody else, I might say, nah, man, let's wait and see it. If I ain't been on a date in 5 years, shit, the lights might stay off and I might not need to see it, right? So in this situation, Trey Tucker doesn't make me, I don't feel led to have to put him in over Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall, to me, I'm willing to take whatever comes with those two players and play Ricky Pearsall for the boom over Trey Tucker. Pearsall has been practicing also. He had like two or three really good practices this week. If you want to play Trey, that's on you. I get it. Trey, the matchup is not bad either for the Las Vegas Raiders. G Santos says Knicks or Caleb. We got to go with Caleb, man. We're not playing no Knicks. Knicks is a sit, one of my sit quarterbacks, and I actually liked him in the offseason, and I had a couple guys that stayed with him, and now, man, I have to tell y'all to get off of him, man, until he plays 2 or 3 games with a good fashion, right? He hasn't done that. So let's go with Caleb, who has a little bit of volatility this week. Nixter says Gaddison or Schultz. Let's go with Schultz because Gaddison has a lot of guys coming off an injury where he overcame it. But you got Ladd, you got Keenan Allen, and you got QJ, and you got Vidal. It's a lot of weapons on that team. So let's go with Schultz over Gaddison. But if you want to play Gaddison, bro, I don't have nothing. It's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to get you the most points, more of a floor than I'm trying to hit the ceiling. The ceiling guy, even though Schultz went off a couple of weeks ago, well, I think last week, Gaddison to me has boom, and I think he has probably more boom than Schultz. But it's just a lot of mouths to feed, and they could be using him as a decoy coming off the injury. That's what I'm worried about. Tron says, I think Ramondre Stevenson gets his starting job back once healthy. Henderson will have more of a role, though. Yes, I think Ramondre gets his starting. I don't know if he gets his starting job back, but does the starting job really matter, Tron? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because you see me with a girl, does it make it my girlfriend? Do I love her? Like, just because Ramondre is starting the game doesn't mean that you're gonna get outsnapped Travion Henderson. It could be smoke and mirrors. Cameron says, Rashad White or Wandale? We're going with Wandale. Going with Jameson Wynn, famous Jameis. So I'm going with Wandale. Sam Ball, what's up, bro? He said, would you start Rodgers against the Bengals? Yes, I would. If that was one of my quarterbacks that I had on my team and one of the best streamable guys that I could get, yes, I would. Depending on what quarterback that I can play. Michael White says, Charbonnet, Wilson, Shaheed, who do you put in the flex? In full PPR, Michael, I'm going with Wilson over Shaheed and Charbonnet. I'm going with Wilson. And the reason why, man, I think Wilson, with no Marvin Harrison Jr., is going to at least get 8 to 10 targets this week. Charbonnet is a goal line, standalone value backup. He has standalone value where you can start him like a David Montgomery. He has touchdown upside, so he's okay. Shaheed, we need to keep watching. We know he's going to be good for this team, for the Seahawks, but we want to see how before we start putting them over guys who's already showed us who they are. So I probably would go with Michael Wilson over Charbonnet and Shaheed. Charbonnet, if you want to play Charbonnet, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Shaheed, I think it would be a kind of a bad move over Charbonnet and Wilson. Voltron says, I have a feeling that the Ravens are going to destroy the Browns and they will have to start Sanders against the Raiders. Come on now. Let's go. Speaking in existence, bruh. Speaking in existence. Sam Ball says, would you start Rodgers against the Bengals? Yes, I would. Bandit says, would it be crazy to start Flacco over Lamar this week? Yes, it would be. But guess what? It's still cutting-edge content. When I say cutting-edge content, that lets me know, like, listen, you own to something. I can't second it, but you own to something. Your process makes sense. Guys, listen, my metaphor game and my comparisons in life, that's the way I see life. And you know who else saw life like this? And my friend validated it, because I always been this way. Whenever we would debate, I said, that's like you doing this and this. And that's like this and this. I always had that type of mind. In the for old school SAT, you used to have to take a part of a test, and it was basically egg is to baby is to, and basically what they're saying is like how people are, how they start off when they're born, right? So my metaphor for starting Flacco over Lamar, I'm trying to see where I was going here. Basically got Flacco over Lamar. I wouldn't do it, but that doesn't mean that you ain't showing your work while you making that decision. So long as you can show your work or reason why you are trying to get to Flacco over a player like Lamar, I cannot disagree with that. I would never tell y'all not to do something if you can show me, hey, TD, I'm playing this guy because of this and this and this. Now, if it don't make sense with me, I may rebuttal it. But if it makes sense, even though I won't do it, I still say, that's cutting edge content. So, bro, playing Flacco over Lamar, that's on you. Go down with your ship. I don't think it's crazy because Flacco like that. But we splitting hairs here. We talking about the top 5 guys. The top 5 guys, anybody can outscore anybody. Tom Burns says, meant to tell you, bro, he's a Buka too. Should I counter? Bro, he's a Buka too. He has a Buka too. Should I counter? Let me know what you're talking about, Tom. Put the question back in there. I kind of don't know what you're saying. Jay Moore says, have been watching any college prospects? No. No, I don't have time. Um, I'll wait till the off season. Now I do watch. I'm from North Carolina, so I do watch a little bit of here. I do know about the top guys like Ohio State wide receiver Ryan Williams from Alabama. A couple quarterbacks that they talking about. You know, that type of stuff. And when it get to the playoffs, I will concentrate more on some players. But right now, man, I don't have to do that for fantasy football. But that's what I want to do as my channel grow. I want to hit the road and have people, still posting. And I'm gonna post too, but I'm gonna be on the road watching guys in college and also watching them in the NFL and practice squads and stuff like that. Because that's the next level to fantasy football. I want to take this shit almost like big time. I want to take it to the next level. So I want to be scouting guys from high school all the way up through college. But right now, I don't have that type of time. I have to just watch it through like highlights, YouTube, film, and stuff like that. And so I still got a few more weeks to go before I have to really buckle down and see what type of guys are coming out. I saw Genty all last year for Boise. I knew he was going to be the #1 guy. I didn't have to really watch a lot of film. But when I started watching the film going into the NFL season, I was splitting hairs to try to tell you what guys I like. And I like Travion over Genty, but I'm not saying that Travion is better than Genty. I just knew that Travion would be drafted later and he would get with a better situation. That Genty would be drafted early and he would have to overcome a sorry team. Let's see here. Sam says, which tight ends of the Steelers would you start? Pat Fryermuth. Jay Moore says, Lions DST or Bears? I'm going with the Lions DST. Jay Moore says, playing odd this week with Tyler Warren or bye. Nothing wrong with that. KJ says, Mariota or McCarthy. I'm going with Mariota rushing upside. I know he don't have a lot of weapons, guys. But I like Mariota rushing upside and I like Cliff calling plays. Jay Moore says, how many points will Baltimore allow against Cleveland? I'm saying no more than 14. No more than 14. KJ says, also, what do you think of Harvey rest of the season? Yeah, man, he's going to be a good player, man. We're just going to see what his ceiling is, how far he can boom. He's a star. He's a top 32 running back. That means he started in the league. So now we got to decide how good is he going to be for the top 32. Is he going to be a top 12 guy or a top 24 guy? G Santos says, appreciate it, bro. Yes, sir. Cameron, what's up? He says Dak or Stafford. We're going with Dak. Stafford got a little bit of a tough matchup. Michael White says full PPR. Okay, bro, you got to put that back in. Got to put it in the put the whole question in there. I have no clue what last comment I read about you. Jay Moore says, how's life going outside of fantasy football? Big prayers to you, fan. Bro, it's the same. I mean, I appreciate y'all praying, and I really appreciate that. But I don't know. I'm motivated. I'm gonna be honest. I'm angry. I'm not angry where I'm mad at anybody, but I'm angry because people that I love and I trusted disrespected me. And then as soon as I stand up for myself, and maybe not everything that I say may not be perfect, then you turn on me and say I'm a terrible person. That's why I don't, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. People would turn on your ass. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, I'm not perfect, but I'm always gonna be loyal I would die for my loyalty. You're not gonna remember me and say TD tricked me, he stole my money. I would never be that person. I don't give a damn about that type of shit. That's why I'm so passionate, because my heart is so real. When the realer you are, the more passionate. When you start lying and shit and you full of shit, you just want to be quiet and sit back around and be sneaky like a little chick. Not me. So, bro, I'm actually loving my life is great because I'm so motivated. My YouTube channel right here in front of me is growing. I got a good job. I'm healthy, right? And I'm working on that, guys. I'm about to go on. I'm gonna say this real quick and then I'm gonna move on. But I'm actually about to stop eating meat for about a month, and I'm probably might eat some fish, but no pork, no beef, no chicken. And after that month, I'm gonna try to find me a fish diet or something with light meat. I'm about to change my whole life. I think I can do better. I think my hair could be better. My skin could be better. So I'm about to just get off meat. I've been wanting to do that for a long, long time, but it's called Maslow hierarchy of needs. And sometimes when you're grinding and you're trying to build wealth, you can't eat expensive. You have to eat at a lower level of food that ain't that good for you. So that's what I'm going through right now, guys. But life is great, man. Life is great outside of that, bro. Appreciate you asking. Voltron says, will you go live every Saturday night, or is this a random live? Well, now that my lives are not being disconnected like it was, yes, I will be going live, and I probably will be doing a little bit of fantasy football after dark now that I know that my lives are not being flagged, right? Not flagged, but being stopped for some weird reason. I think I got an update for the YouTube app and it stopped. So yes, Saturdays will be good. Tom Burton says, yeah, he's got Ibuka also. Should I counter or just take water? Go get Ibuka. Go get Ibuka. Go get Ibuka. B. Silver says, start Jennings or Parker Washington. We start in Jennings. Sutton has been disappointing and Mims is back this week. Yep, I agree 100% B. Silver. So I'm starting Jennings. Sam Ball says, I'm debating between Geno. Appreciate the gifts, guys. Appreciate the KJ. Appreciate that gift. Appreciate the gift earlier. I forgot who it was. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Sam Ball says I'm debating between Geno versus Dallas or Rodgers against the Bengals. Don't know. We're not doing Geno. And ain't that Geno is a terrible play. Geno could go out and have a solid game and be top 6 or top 5. But Rodgers has a good he has something to prove. He got something to prove. And he's playing against the Bengals, who is they on TV doing dumpster episodes behind the dumpster, and you seeing everything that's going on. It's disrespecting the parents. It's that bad with the Bengals, and it's only getting worse. That doesn't mean that they can't show out, or they can't go to church one week and then not go behind the dumpster for a while. But they are giving it up behind the dumpster. So I like Rodgers over Geno. Mr. G says start Brissett or A-Rod. A-Rod over Brissett. Voltron says Gaddison or Pat Fryermuth. I'm going with Gaddison over Pat Fryermuth. G Santos says same boat, bruh. Keep your head up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, G Santos. B Silver says people turn on you when you promote a job. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but I'm just taking it for what it means, bruh. And you know who the worst? It's people that look like me. African-American males. Bro, we are so crab in the burrow. I'm not, and I would say this, I'm perfect when it comes to crabs in the burrow. I would never be a crab in the burrow. I would never. I'm going to always give respect. Sometimes people, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you what I found out. My kindness is so real, it turns people are scared of it. And I had my ex told me that. She said, man, your expectations, and my expectations is I'm not telling you to be the prettiest girl in the world. I'm not telling you to have the most money in the world as a friend, but I want your honesty and I want your genuineness and I want your respect to be at an elite level to be around me. So, yeah, man, people have turned, as soon as I started telling people that I had a YouTube channel, man, this one dude that did my documentary, he started like, so my homeboy, y'all done seen him, he do videos, his name is Matt. He worked with me. And one day, you know, me and him, once we get our job done, we get to a good spot, we come around, chop it up about fantasy and stuff like that, you know. And one day this dude, that's supposed to be our friend, he seen me, like, I guess he taking my kindness for a weakness, because I'm a cool person. I'm like, what's up, man? I'm always uplifting people, but I'm also, and I don't want to say nothing crazy to get flagged, but I'm a monster. Because I have to protect my good heart. I have to protect who I am as a person. So I have to let people know, and I have to go over the top. Because if I don't, humans are weak. They will try to prey on you, and then I have to hurt somebody. So and I don't mean that in no real physical way, but I just mean like I would have to defend myself. But yeah, he came up and was like, hey, can I borrow your Mac? I said, what? I said, are you trying to call? What? And I went off on him. And man, so I'm like, where he come with this? And I'm like, this dude is mad because I got a YouTube channel. Like he would take shots. Hey, you need to do this better. I saw you couldn't get that word out. I'm telling you, man, people are something else, bruh. People are something else. But let me get to this super chat. I apologize. KJ with the super chat. He said, "You rack 'em, bruh. I watch all the time. Big fan. Keep it up. Keep it going, bruh. Have a good night. You too. You too." Jay Moore says, drafted Tyler Warren in the 7th, Ibuka in the 8th. Woo! You killed it. You killed it. Michael White says, guys, I can't believe it's only 22 people in here. What the hell is going on? I think it might be my title. It might be the title. Usually it's 50, 60 people in here. Maybe it's Saturday, everybody watching the college football games or something. It's 9 o'clock. Usually 9 o'clock on a Saturday be on fire. Michael White said, do you start Tez or Shakir this week? I'm starting Tez over Shakir. Tom Burton says, thanks, bro. Anytime. J Moore says, thoughts on Burrow returning in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's going to be good. Now, listen, that first week, be a little bit cautious. Have a backup plan. You might not want to start Burrow right away. You might want to. Or you starting Burrow is not going to kill you, even if he has a bad game. So to be prepared. Start thinking about that. Just because Burrow's out there don't mean he's going to go out there and throw for 3 touchdowns. He might want to throw for 1. So be prepared to go down with the ship if you play him. Or be prepared to give him a week and you watch it to see if you want to continue playing. Thank you, Big Will. Hey, you one of my best moderators in here, bro. That's why I always shout you out, man. I appreciate it. I see everything. I appreciate everything that people do for me, and I don't mean no pun intended. I'm just talking about in life. So, bro, thank you for deleting some of those. I don't know what they said. I ain't gonna look it up. Appreciate it. Bandit says flex between Waddle and Chase Brown. Let's go with Chase Brown, man. I mean, he's got a good matchup going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's been not giving up behind a dumpster, but they can be had. And Chase Brown is a special back. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase support Chase Brown. Like, them safeties not coming in that damn box. So Chase Brown always going to have a good opportunity to be really good for you in fantasy, no matter the matchup. Now, what can hurt Chase Brown if T. Higgins miss or Jamar Chase miss or Joe Flacco miss without Joe Burrow? Other than that, I love Chase Brown. I would tell you to play Waddle. If you wanted to play Waddle, there's nothing wrong with playing Waddle. Waddle's going to be good going forward for the rest of the season. Mike McDaniels needs to get some respect of how he's fighting for his job and doing a hell of a job. He's got Tua that nobody wants and winning games and won some big-time games. Rowdy liked that. He said, Broncos. You like your Broncos, man? They might be a fraudulent 8-2 team. They might be one of the weakest 8-2 teams. Bo Nick's not playing well. King Sirius says, Stefanski said Friday that Sanders is still not receiving first-team reps in practice, which means the Browns plan to stick with Gabriel at least a little longer. Let me tell you something, and I done said this. If he continued this, the NFL might get sued. I'm telling you, the NFL can get sued. You have to be careful. Listen, nobody can tell you who to start on your team, but you can. They are employees in the United States. So just like if I'm the 6th guy up for the next tech job, once the other 4 or 5 guys haven't done the job or not coming to work or whatever, you can't skip over me. I will sue your ass. So, and everybody knows that. That's going to be very obvious. If they put fake injuries on Shadur and Dylan Gabriel goes out there and plays terrible, now if he have a couple good games, you can hide that and you can keep him playing them. But if he keep going out here and getting beat and playing bad and they continue to start him, don't be shocked if you hear that it's some type of lawsuit coming or something's going to happen, or it could be a boycott in Cleveland. It's something going to come from this if they do something obvious and dumb. And the person that I'm kind of feeling bad for, and y'all going to think this is crazy, I think I feel bad for Kevin. And the reason why, Kevin is looking like a racist. I hate to say it, Kevin Stefanski, you look like a racist, and you doing it because the owner's putting it. That I don't think you are a racist. I have never heard nobody say that, so I'm not gonna say you a racist. But you look like a racist doing what you're doing to Shadir, and it's because you don't want Shadir, and that's fine. I'm not gonna never tell anybody you have to play a player when you the head coach. If you don't ain't into Shadir, that's fine. Somebody could have Tom Brady and don't want to start him. That's fine. But you need to tell the world, listen, guys, I drafted Dylan. I wanted Dylan Gabriel. That's my guy. That's why he's starting. And I'm going to continue to start him because I see certain things in Dylan Gabriel. We can understand that. That's his guy. He was forced to draft Shadir. But if you don't say that, I don't think you can ever coach a locker room because black players will not respect you. That's just my 2 cents. Don Mega Mayweather says, any news on Waller? I haven't heard anything. Arthur Myers, he says, I'm here, Titty. I've been waiting on you, bro. Pause. I've been waiting on you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. G Sector says, a lot of people probably giving up. Yes, in fantasy. Yep. Bupa. Man, that name, let me tell you something. Hey, Bupa, are you Asian? And let me tell you why I'm asking that. When I was in high school, man, I used to go to our local club. My senior year, right? Because I was like 18, so I could go to the club. And man, it was this Asian girl, and her name was Melissa. But I started talking to her on the phone, and I was like, what's your name in Asian? And she said Bupa. She said Bupa was her name. So I'm just looking at the Bupa. So let me know, man, are you Asian? He says, I'm still undefeated. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Kuma says, between Troy Franklin and Pearsall to start, I'm going with Troy Franklin over Pearsall. But if you wanted to play Pearsall, I don't think there's nothing wrong. But I'm gonna pick Troy Franklin because I just want to see Pearsall if I can help it. Like, Troy Franklin got enough value where I'm okay sitting Pearsall. Other players, no, I might have to play Pearsall, but Troy Franklin, I'm going to put him in. I think he might be the best wide receiver target for the Broncos. Judah says Dolphins defense or Vikings. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see something real quick. Like, appreciate everybody being in here. Appreciate everybody staying as long as they stayed. Okay. Give me a second. It's loading up. Okay. Okay, so he says don't or Vikings. Let's go with the Dolphins. I'm not big on either one, but I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. The Bears, Caleb Williams can boom, or they could shut him down. I do like Brian Flores, so I'm not gonna sit there and say the Vikings ain't no good defense at all. But I'm just, Ben Johnson is a good offensive coordinator, so they could put up. I don't know how your league keep the points for DSTs, but the Bears could put up at least 17 to 21 points, and that might not help you be elite at that spot, at your DST spot. Dolphins, all they got to stop is Debo, Chris Rodriguez, and I do think Mariota can run his way to a top 12 quarterback, but that doesn't mean the Dolphins still can't hold him down for under 14 points. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Jay Moore says, what the Panthers do with the RB situation next year? Two-headed backfield. I think the coach respects Chuba, and Chuba could also get traded. But I don't think if you trade Chuba and then Rico go down, and then you got to play the rookie running back that had 2 knee injuries, I don't know. So Either way, guys, I think Chuba's a great buy low and just hold him in Dynasty. He's a young running back. He's like 25, 26 years old. So he's a young running back with not a lot of mileage. So he's a good stash for Dynasty. Big Will says Cam Newton did a segment saying keep Shedeur on the bench because he doesn't have enough talent around him. I get that. But people, that's like, okay, say I'm 350 pounds, right? And I'm eating too much. You can say, TD, you shouldn't be eating burgers. But if I stay outside of a restaurant, every time I come out, I'm smelling a good burger on the grill, it's going to be, that's a different situation than you speaking from outside, from an outside point of view, to tell me that I shouldn't be eating burgers. That's easy to say. That's easy to say, Shedeur, you shouldn't be playing because you don't have talent. I'm like, bro, what? Who could tell you to sit? Cam, you couldn't even sit out. You ruined your career playing so damn much. You should have sat out a couple games because your shoulder was messed up, but you kept playing, and you kept playing, and you kept playing, then you couldn't throw the ball no more. So I'm not coming at you, Cam. I think what you're saying has a rhyme and a reason. I respect what you're saying, and it could be true. But that man is a play, bro. He's a first round pick in his mind. It doesn't matter when they drafted him. In his mind, he's a first round pick. So that man don't want to sit on that bench. But I get it. B. Silver says, when you say the NFL will sue, by whom exactly? Why are the Browns doing this to him? Why waste a pick on him? Okay, so let me break this down much as I know, and I'm just hypothetically speaking. So the Browns owner, I love the Browns owner. He reminds me of Jerry Jones. Him and Jerry Jones are good friends. Duh, that makes sense. The way I love Jerry Jones. I love the Browns owner. So coming into the preseason, not coming in but get ready 2 or 3 weeks before the draft. The NFL, and I'm gonna bring all things in here. Race is a factor. And let me tell y'all, as a black man, and some of the people in here that are Caucasian or different ethnic backgrounds, let me give you a perspective from a black man. All racism is not, hey, shut up, N-word, or be quiet, black man. A lot of racism is like, well, who he think he is? He think he's arrogant. They can't, it's in their psyche. It's not in their, like, they don't know they being racist. They don't want to. But when they see a black man, you can't help it. Just like when I see a woman, I'm going to look down and look at her body. She could be married. I'm just going to glance real quick and I'm going to look back up. I can't help it. I'm a man. So as most, and this is my point of view, most, especially older white men who got a bunch of money, they don't like nobody trying to tell them what to do. So when a guy like Archie Manning comes in, whose sons is great, and he was great, and he tells the owners, my son ain't going to this team. They kind of like, okay. They take it and receive it as human to human that just don't agree. But when an African-American man says, I don't want my son to go to this team, if it's in your heart, you'll be like, who the hell do he think he is? And you'll come for that person. And I'm going through it right now. My ex, and then she can get mad out if she wants to. I don't give a damn if she's on this live or not. My ex is doing a lot of evil things to me because I am of who I am as a black man. Because I seen men of her family that are Caucasian, and I'm just giving examples, that they did crazy shit. Like, I would never do no shit like that. And they still in the family. They still, hey, he's okay. He's a father. He's a father. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, and so that's what happens. And other people, African-American men, will tell you this, guys. So they tried to prove a point to Shedeur and his father that you're not going to come in here and tell us what to do. But they didn't do it to Eli Manning and Archie. And so you have to take with the data. No, can't nobody talk out of that. Don't believe what people show you. Don't believe what they tell you. They showed you Archie could do it. They still drafted him number 2 overall, but you can't do it, Shedeur. We're not even going to take you at all. So they tried to prove a point. But I'm going to tell you about the Browns owner. He was like, that man in the 5th round? Guys, he coming talking to the GM and stuff. He's like, if he's still there in the 5th round, we draft him. I don't give a damn what the NFL is doing. I understand what they trying to do, but I'm not going for that. So we're going to draft him. So he pushed Shadur on top of Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin Stefanski like, I don't want this show. Everybody's avoiding him for a reason because they feel like this, whatever. The owner said, I don't care. You gonna take him? And there's Kevin Long, like, if I want my job, that's why Kevin still has a job. Because he did the right things. It's like, it's called politics. He's playing the game, but he's mad, but he's still playing the game. So that's why Shadur is on this team, and they're not using him right. Because Kevin said, this is my team. You can't make me, and my contract says I pick the starters. So you can't make me do it. But the owner can tell you who to pick on and put on the team. So that's what's going on. It's like a girlfriend that a person didn't want. How you gonna treat that girl? You gonna ignore her? You're not gonna talk to her? You're not gonna hug her? You're not gonna kiss her because you don't want her. He don't want Shadur, but he was forced to take Shadur. That's the main thing. That's what happened in that situation. From my point of view, I don't know. I'm not a fly on the wall. I'm not God, but I'm just analyzing. Jay Moore says, when will MHJ return? I think in 2 weeks. Bandit says, feels like a big week from A.J. Brown. Yes, I believe that, Bandit. He says, Lions secondary is decimated by injuries now. Yes. I agree with that. Jay Moore says, thoughts on having a first RB bye for the fantasy playoffs. Y'all need to move y'all schedule up. You plan on that old school schedule, you need to move it up. Because you should have nobody on the bye once the fantasy football playoffs start. I would think that's Bush League. I wouldn't want to play in the league like that. I would, after this year, I wouldn't play no more. I'm not going to be trying to put guys on buys. Now, if everybody like playing that way and you just want to let the chips fall, then that's fine if you okay with that. Me, I'm not. I played in a league like that played a Week 18 championship, and I had the best team and I lost, and everybody go like, yeah, I got it. Man, get out of here, man. I couldn't even start Saquon Barkley, and you think you ain't win shit. People, whatever they can, and they can one up you, even if it's not fair. They don't care. Me, I don't want to one up nobody. If I can't win in an integrity way, I don't want it. I don't play on easy mode. I don't play Madden on easy. I play Madden on all Madden. Now, when I'm playing on the line, I might go to all pro because that's the setting. But I don't play nothing on easy. I want respect. Hey, Sean Lee, appreciate you being here. He says, what quarterback you starting between Dak and Stafford? I'm going with Dak. Stafford got a tough matchup. Darius said, what's good, bro? What's good, Darius? Pride by Dada says, damn, bro, Laporta out. Glad I stashed Gaddison. Good job. Reed says, facts. Darius says, 1,000%. I guess y'all talking about what I was saying about Shadur. This is cutting edge content. Guys, you know how many people is jealous of how I sit here and I ain't got no studio and I talk and I got a following? Guys, even if I only got 4,000 followers, you know how me to do it my way and it is hitting, even if it's growing slow. Guys, people are so jealous. Even people that got way more subscribers and got making money, they know that this dude got a lot of personality, man. And he know football. He might not talk. He might talk fast. Maybe he don't know how to do this and this, but he could change the game and make it where us doing it in the studio and shit, he's gonna be like the new Kevin Samuel. I'm black, and right now, guys, y'all see the way every time you see a commercial, it's hip hop or the other agenda, and I'm not gonna talk about that right now. But you see hip hop or the other agenda. So, that's kind of how I see things, what's going on as far as how my channel is growing and stuff, man. But yeah, the Shadur, this is cutting edge content. No, most people is not going to break that down like that. They scared to go there. I'm not. Guys, I love everybody. I don't see colors, but I will talk about it. Why? Because I don't see colors. Most people are like, well, why would you say that, man? This is business. I think the truth will set you free. I believe that's why I'm going to grow. I'm real. I'm authentic, right? I'm authentic. I'm not perfect, but I'm authentic. Like food, I don't care about food being cooked perfectly. If it's healthy, if it's authentic, if it's original. I like my women the same way. I don't want no women with a bunch of makeup. I want to see you are a woman. You have the goods. God gave you the goods. I don't need to see no eyeliner. I don't need to see none of that. I just need to make sure that you're carrying yourself in a nice, presentable way. You smell nice. You keep your hair. Your hair is not crazy. And I'm not talking about crazy. I'm like Do it in an African American way for black women. Like, I don't need to see makeup, right? So authenticity to me is huge. King Sirius says Eric Dickerson said that the NFL colluded against the Sanders. The league office told teams not to draft him. I don't know if it's the league office, but Eric said he had a person that's very, very close to the NFL league office that he heard that, right? So I'm pretty sure that's something, but it's an undertone, right? Like, when politicians make moves with other politicians, or our president goes on a flight to an island, that stuff is not documented like that. It's documented kind of like, we know, you know, but we're not gonna write this shit down. We're not creating no paper trail. So there's no paper trail, I don't think, but the evidence is going to be in the pudding. Micah says, what up, TD? Start Harvey, Tet, or Gaddison? We're going with Harvey in this situation over Tet and Gaddison. Paola says, what's up, TD? If London is out, should I go with Wandale, Sutton, or Judy? If London is out, I would go with Wandale over Sutton and Judy. I would go with Wandale to get a lot of targets in full PPR. King Sirius says, free Antonio Brown. He's free. He got out. He did get out. He did get out. Reed is laughing. I don't know what he even laughing at. Jay Moore says, I meant to say thoughts on having a first round bye for the fantasy playoffs. Okay. On having a first. Yeah, man, it's great. Because listen, guys, I don't give a damn how good your team is. You rate, and I'm gonna tell you something. You could go and cherry pick a team. If somebody say, look, here's all the players in fantasy, and you could say CMC, B. John, Josh Allen, George Kittle, Brock Bowers, Ibuka. You could get all the top players and still get your ass whooped. So when you get to the playoffs, you want that first round bye, because you don't want to be playing people who's trending or anything. Anything can happen. So the least amount of games that you can play once you get there is a good situation. Darius says, yep, what you spoke on Sanders and the racism. Right. Thank you, Darius. Thank you. Holy Inspiration says, I don't play on easy mode either, which is why I avoid 8-man leagues. Bro, listen, I'm going to tell you something, Holy. I got to defend the 8-man league. Bro, it's actually harder. I got to be honest, man. I think it's harder. Because for my strategy, it's harder. Like, I don't want to choose between Lamar and Josh Allen, because Josh Allen is on the waivers. I don't want to make that choice. I don't want to choose between Derrick Henry and Vidal. I just want to get Vidal and pick him up and start him, because that's the best back that I got. I don't want to make choices between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. 8-man leagues to me are harder. Now, if you love to play matchups and you sit here this is a great matchup, they're playing against the Jets, then maybe it's easy for you. But me, I don't care about matchups. I care about players that are going to play great, because I see them outperform their projections all the time. John says, hey, man, thanks for the content. RJ Harvey or Chase Brown? I'm going with Chase Brown over this one. This is a situation where I will wait a little bit on RJ Harvey, because you already got a known commodity. So I will go with Chase Brown in this situation. Hopefully this is making sense when y'all asking me about RJ Harvey and certain players. It just depends on how I'm trying to deploy him. If I got a squad full of studs, I'm probably going to hold off. If I are weak at the running backs, I'm probably going to play him. Intelligente says, imagine going to a job when you're not wanted. Hats off to Sanders for staying positive. Bruh, I didn't done a job that way. I've been on a job that I wasn't wanted. Yes, anytime, John. So, yeah, that is tough. And I'm not saying I was on the level that Shadir was. I haven't faced that type of scrutiny. That is crazy. But he got a father, man. That's why fathers are it's very important for fathers to be in kids' life. We have to show them patience and stuff like that, right? The discipline. That's what God, the yin and the yang, that's why God gave it to men. Discipline, passion. Women, he gave them beauty, serenity, love, gentleness. That's the difference. So I think this got a lot to do with Dion. If he had a father that wasn't present, he would have been and went off on somebody and cussed them out. But like, this ain't right. This ain't fair. They hating on me. This is racist. But he has a good father that got money. He ain't hard up for anything. That's why you got to have money for your kids. So you don't want them being out here desperate, taking disrespect. Same thing with a lady. You don't want your lady, you don't want your daughter going to need money to pay her rent, because that could get it can get the dumpster stuff going on, right? You get what I'm saying? So you don't want that. You always want your kids to be able to make a big time decision, kind of like Archie Manning did with Eli. They ain't hard up for no money. If y'all don't draft us, you don't draft us. So I just want to give Dion credit, man. And and I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I want the guys from the other race to listen to this. I want y'all to listen to this. I know Dion seems brass, guys. I know he seems like him and his son are the best things in the world. But listen, guys, this is I'm not gonna call it an overcorrection. This is a correction throughout history. Guys, and I want y'all to understand this. We ain't always been able to be fathers to our kids, right? Y'all think just because no slaves no more, everybody can be great fathers? No, some people are broke, and your kids are not respecting you because you can't put food on the table. But Dion has overcame that, so he's going to be a great heroic father. And black fathers are going to be overzealous than any other father from any other race in the world, because we haven't always been able to, in America, present our kids with good schooling, money. So don't hate on that, guys. Understand it. Just like you ever see a woman that's out here crying because something happened to a kid and she just very hysterical, we give her grace, don't we? That's a woman, man. You know how she is about her kids. Or a bear, you run up on a bear with their kid, they'll kill you. So you gotta give people grace. Give Dion grace to go out here and be a great parent to his kid. So I just wanted to say that. Hopefully y'all understand that. B Silver says maybe Jerry Jones can trade for Shadur during the offseason. I don't think so, because he got Dak and he has Joe Milton. So I don't think he's coming there. All right, guys. Well, listen, this was a great live. I appreciate everybody being here. I thought it would be a lot more people. I don't have no clue what's going on. I don't think I'm gonna go live again. Because I could. But maybe I'll wait a little bit later for the next Saturdays or something. But I appreciate everybody being here. This was a great live. See y'all later. Peace.